This is a disease, if it gets diagnosed early, your patients can survive it.
I'm a very active person. When I leave work, I would go to the gym, exercise 3 days a week. I start feeling that I'm not myself. Fatigue, running out of breath when I'm walking fast or running. I remember my younger daughter. She was 6 months when I was really sick, and it was like holding a mountain in my hand. That's how tired I was.
Rachel and I were married for 21 years, knew each other for 22. She passed away unexpectedly from amyloidosis on December 9th, 2021. She was very health conscious, and she was a great mother of 3 kids. Really was on top of her game.
The first time I met Rachel in clinic, she told me I was maybe the 4th physician that she was talking to about these symptoms. So she had already seen primary care, a gastroenterologist, an OBGYN. So unfortunately for Rachel, I think, the first time I saw her in clinic, her symptoms were very advanced. It was really alarming, because I thought, somebody who doesn't have diabetes, doesn't have hypertension, doesn't have any known heart disease, shouldn't have these findings on exam.
Amyloidosis can sometimes be very difficult to diagnose. Since it can impact almost any organ, a lot of times the initial presenting symptom is fatigue or shortness of breath, which can be due to many, many different things. And oftentimes what ends up happening is a lot of different tests are done, and there's a lot of times delays before the diagnosis is eventually made because these initial symptoms can be very nonspecific.
This disease is very aggressive. By the time I went to the hospital, they could see the heart failure symptoms already, so the damage was done.
Amyloidosis is a very complicated process where proteins in your body misfold, and when they misfold, they can deposit in various organs and make the organs dysfunctional. As a cardiologist, our focus is really on light chain or TTR transthyretin amyloid, because these are 2 types that most frequently go to the heart. And what ends up happening is when these proteins misfold and they go to the heart, it will make the heart very thick and stiff. And when that happens, the body starts to retain water and patients get short of breath and they develop heart failure.
Meeting with the cardiologist there, within 15 minutes, he said, "We need to get you in the hospital right now." By the end of the week, with special permission, we had our first immunotherapy and chemotherapy to shut down the production of the amyloidosis proteins. We had treatment every Wednesday, all the way through November, and then into the first week of December.
The heart failure just got worse and worse. Both my hematologist and my cardiologist told me that your only option is heart transplant. Just 8 months ago, I was extremely healthy, and now I have to do heart transplant. So there was a huge psychological barrier that I had to overcome. I went through the whole process of the transplant, and then going back to the activities that I do with my child, soccer practices, and holding my daughter now, she's 3 years old. It's just amazing the difference and the journey that I took.
I'm a single dad. I raise 3 kids every day. They depend on me. I don't probably need to be in this position. I could be with my wife, raising them together. Somewhere out there, there's a Rachel. There's a Rachel out there right now, somewhere in this world, somewhere in this country. They can't figure out what's wrong with them. They can't figure out why. That's what we're trying to raise awareness for, is it, in many cases, we were just probably a blood test away from figuring it out. We would have had more time to continue the chemotherapy and immunotherapy. Maybe had a chance to even save her heart or have time to get a heart transplant. But we didn't have that chance.
This is a disease where time is of the essence. And so if primary care physicians and specialists can start to put this disease on their differential diagnosis. You know, I've seen sort of both ends of the spectrum. I've taken care of a patient who survived amyloidosis and is more than 5 years out and doing really well. And then, you know, Rachel's case was unfortunate, and, you know, I maybe wish I could have met her sooner.